Hi guys, hope you're keeping well. A slightly different video today. As you can see, we're in Elden Ring, but Doomguy has arrived in Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Just look at that. He looks absolutely awesome. And I've made him with that kind of aesthetic of the Doom the Dark Ages trailer, the new installment that we're getting next year. So we've given him a shield, we've given him some really cool ancient, battle-worn looking attire, blood-stained, worn down by so many battles against the demons, giving him a cool sword that can be used as the crucible, like this. Even given him his own super shotgun slash rocket launcher slash BFG, if you want to call it that, and obviously a shield like we saw in Doom the Dark Ages. The Ash of War I've given him in this weapon is one to give him a little bit of a surprise burst of speed against his foes, like that. It's pretty cool. The other weapon I've given him, I wanted him to have something big and hefty. It's one where he could just pierce enemies with ease and kind of give them a multiple of hits in one go. That cool charge, it can stun lock enemies. And then we have his trusty axe, which I think looks really cool. It's got that kind of ornate look about it. It's the kind of thing someone like Doomguy would have received probably from King Novik, because he's such an elite warrior for the Knight Sentinels. He would have had something ancient but very, very meaningful. And the Ash of War of this is pretty cool as well. Just absolutely decimating enemies in his wake. Super awesome. So I'll just go through some of the things I've equipped him with, basically, for you to have a look and see if it's something you want to do. So before I go any further, I can't take any credit for the aesthetic design of Doomguy, because I followed basically the sliders and the information provided by a YouTuber called Just for Japes, and I'll put a link to that video in the description as well for you guys to do it. The only thing I added was a scar, and a small scar to his right cheek to kind of give him that kind of battle-worn look, sorry. So let's have a look. Equipment-wise, he's got the Golem's halberd, Axe of Godfrey, quality Zweihander. The other arm, he's got the Erdtree seal, which gives a chance to use some really cool incantations, jar cannon, and we have the Mesmer soldier shield, which I thought was the best one in terms of look for what we saw in the Doom the Dark Ages trailer. For the kind of ammunition for the jar cannon, it had to have ballista bolts. That can be your ballista, obviously, and then you have an explosive great bolt. That could be almost like your rocket launcher ammo. So I think that's pretty cool. Armor wise, I went for a prioritized look. So Knight's cavalry armor I think looks great on him. Gaius's gauntlets, really chunky, worn, and then the Oathseeker Knight Greaves I think just complement that look really well. Obviously I left him without a helm, so his poise isn't as high as maybe he would have with a helm on, but I wanted to obviously keep his face visible to give that kind of striking aesthetic. So then we have the Great Jar's Arsenal, which raises our equipment load. Bullgoat's Talisman raises poise. This raises attack power with successive attacks, so great especially for the halberd, which kind of does lots of strikes in one go. And then we have the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman as well to just boost some of the defensive qualities. So one other weapon which you could swap for any of these, which is something I like doing, would be the equivalent of his chainsaw. So that would be Geyser's wheel. So we go to that. that could be his little mobile chainsaw. Look at that. Again, great for that multi-hit talisman. Just kind of grinding through enemies. So again, that's the reason I equipped, or I modified the Mesmer Soldier Shield for it to be a bleed, or to have a passive effect of blood loss. So that then, as blood loss happens, with this weapon, I could include a talisman in here which raises the attack power when blood loss is in the vicinity, and therefore combined with this and the shield, it would just maximize some of the power. So it's still a work in progress. I'm still kind of swapping things around to see what I fancy. So in terms of some of the kind of spells, or incantations I should say, it's still something I'm messing around with, but I'll show you what I've got equipped on him at the moment, in case you wanted to use that too. So he's got Flame Grant Me Strength, obviously adding attack power, helping with defense and attack. Golden Vow, Hone Bolt, really handy for just chasing down especially invaders. I like the idea of him just picking up huge mounds of stones and chucking it at people. Seemed really kind of visceral. This is great. And this is key, I think. If you want to get that Crucible look, Blood Flame Blade is essential, and you can do that as I showed you earlier with the Zweihander. I added some kind of interesting things like the Furious Blade of Ansbach to just kind of surprise enemies with. Swarm of Flies, just a useful kind of just eats away at enemies and again causes blood loss. And then we went for the Lightning Spear as well, just because I quite like it, and I thought it would be quite cool for him to have some kind of a slightly kind of rangy attack. As you can see with his levels, I've prioritized strength, followed by kind of endurance, and then we got kind of dexterity and faith following up, a little bit of arcane and vigor at 48. But obviously it's up to you how you want to play it. As I say, it's still a bit of a work in progress for me. But the main thing was really to have the aesthetic, to have that kind of look about him, and for him to just kind of wander around these kind of surroundings just in a really menacing way, and just look like he's just come from hell basically, and thinking, okay, what has this got to offer me? Whatever it is, I'm just going to absolutely decimate it. So there you go, guys. This is how you can get Doomguy into Elden Ring. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I can't wait to see you doing your own version of him. And please let me know if you do, and if you post anything up on YouTube, I'd love to see it. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.